Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch just got their worst news yet, especially when it comes to the sales numbers. They're even worse than we originally thought. The boycott is working even more than we originally thought. Let's check out this video right here. This is a video that my boy Philip tagged me in. Shout out to you, Philip, and everybody else who's been tagging me in videos. I really appreciate y'all. If you could go give me a follow on Twitter, I'd appreciate that. It's Justin Loss with 2 T's, as you can see right here. And go tag me in any news that you want me to cover. But he says the Bud Light bloodbath. Here is a video from Fox. They're talking about how the sales have been so bad across the entire country. Yesterday, I did a video on the Clay Travis experiment with Bud Light, showing that people are not even taking free Bud Light out of ice chests and things like that. And certain people on that panel were saying that up north, they probably would, like in New York and maybe Seattle, things like that, they would probably take the free Bud Light. But since it's down south in Tennessee, people weren't taking it. And I was wondering, if people did these experiments, if up north people would actually be taking Bud Light for free, and if down south they wouldn't. And it goes to show you, this video right here goes to show you that it actually doesn't matter where you're located in the United States. People don't want to buy Bud Light. Nobody's buying Bud Light across the entire country. Like I said, this is a lot worse than we originally thought. Let's check out this video real quick.
But look at this. The entire country down double digits, including an 18% decline in California, Oregon, and Washington State, and 14% in our parts. This is a major backlash.
But if you look at that map, it bears no relationship to Democrat or Republican states.
No, it's all down.
Bud Light sales are down everywhere, regardless of politics.
And personally, I didn't even think that was going to be the case. I thought that for sure, like places like New York, Washington, Seattle, California, I thought that they would probably not be as bad as the other states. I definitely thought that the Republican states would be bad, the Democratic states wouldn't be as bad, but it's really not that much of a correlation. You can see there's a little bit of a correlation in the Democratic states where it's not as bad, but it's much worse than I thought it was going to be in those states. Like, Bud Light is really doing bad right now, dude. Like, whenever your Democratic states are completely avoiding Bud Light because the people there don't want to be caught dead drinking Bud Light, because everybody who's seen walking out of stores with Bud Light is probably going to go viral on TikTok if you're seen buying that stuff. Or at least, at the very least, if you buy Bud Light and you go around your friends, you're going to get clowned for drinking gay beer. Like, it is what it is, man. You're going to get made fun of. Nobody wants to be seen. Like I said, the Clay Travis experiment yesterday. They're at an event. There's a bunch of beer in an ice chest. There's Yingling. I think there was Miller, Michelob, and people just are not touching Bud Light. Like, they're just not, because they don't want to be seen walking around this event with a Bud Light can in their hands. That's simply it. And for some reason, the social pressure works a lot better than people actually following their morals and principles. Like, social pressure is a lot more effective than people just having strong morals and strong principles, because the social pressure from this Bud Light situation is definitely deterring a ton of people from buying it. Like, the fact that it's going viral on TikTok, a ton of people are talking about it on Twitter and YouTube, like, that is the reason why this Bud Light boycott is so powerful, why it's so strong, and the most successful boycott of my lifetime that I can remember. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I've been saying that in every video, and I haven't seen somebody point out a boycott that has been stronger than this Bud Light boycott. I haven't seen a single one, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the most successful boycott of my lifetime. And it's because of the social pressure. It's because of TikTok, it's because of YouTube, and because of Twitter, because people don't want to go viral for drinking Bud Light. They don't want to be seen, and they don't want their friends making fun of them.
It's not just Bud Light. It's Anheuser-Busch's other beer brands that are getting caught up in this too, like Bud Regular, Bud Heavy. Those sales are down. Natty Ice, down. HSBC downgraded the stock. They says this marketing blunder is a crisis and the problems are deeper than they're admitting.
So like she said, it's not just Bud Light. It's all Anheuser-Busch products are going down. Now, obviously, Bud Light is going to be the worst one. I think the Bud Light brand is probably tarnished forever. Let me know in the comments if you're thinking that Bud Light could ever recover. But personally, I don't see them ever recovering from this. I can't remember a single time where a company was this bad, like where the brand recognition has gotten so bad that it's just straight up gay beer. Nobody wants to be seen drinking it. Like, I can't think of a single time where a brand or a product was thought of as this bad. Like, the correlation in your head whenever you see Bud Light is, oh, that's gay beer. Like, I can't think of a single time where a product or a brand was that bad off and actually recovered. As you can see on the screen right here, Bud Light parent company stock downgraded by HSBC amid branding crisis, huge sales drop. Like, there's not a single person that's saying, oh, it's not actually that bad. You know, there's not a single person, not a single expert, nobody is saying, oh, this isn't actually that bad. You know, Bud Light will be fine. Like, no, dude, this is catastrophic for Bud Light. Retail sales of Bud Light have decreased since the marketing campaign featuring transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney. I think they're down 23% now from last year at this time. That's horrible, especially considering the stock leading up to this situation was on a pretty good incline. Like, it was on a pretty astronomical rise, and then it just totally leveled out in terms of the stock. And then once the earnings reports come out, once we get the quarterly earnings and things like that, the stock is going to plummet. There's no question about it. I think they might be getting boosted by some ESG stuff. We'll talk about that in a different video, but I think they're probably getting boosted up by some outside forces, but we'll talk about that in a different video, like I said. But dude, I mean, the sales down 23%, that's much more than I ever thought that we could actually accomplish. And who knows how much higher it's going to get. Because like I said, dude, the social pressure is so much more powerful than any morals and principles that this boycott could have been based on. Like, the social pressure is absolutely insane when it comes to this. And also, I think it's a perfect storm because it's just not that difficult to not drink Bud Light, right? Like, there's a ton of light beer. To me, it all tastes disgusting. I've heard that light beer outside of the United States is a lot better, but every single light beer that I've ever tasted tastes disgusting. Like, I don't touch that stuff regardless, but like I said, it's a perfect storm because it's just very easy to just not drink Bud Light. There's beer surrounding it everywhere that it tastes pretty much the same. It tastes equally as bad. So you just don't drink Bud Light because it's considered gay beer now, and you go drink Coors and Miller. And I understand that Coors and Miller have also done weird stuff in the past. I'm not trying to prop them up and saying that you should go out there and drink Coors and Miller. A lot of people are saying Yingling is the way to go because it's all American made, but Coors and Miller have obviously done some weird things in the past. But what corporation hasn't at this point? Most, like 99% of corporations out there have done weird things in the past, especially equal to what Coors and Miller have done, because they just put rainbow stuff during Pride Month, which literally every single corporation out there, it seems, does that nowadays. Now, I would love to see people carry over this Bud Light boycott. Let's carry over the momentum from this Bud Light boycott, having major banks downgrade the stock and things like that. Like I said, this is probably the worst news yet for Bud Light. That map of the entire country completely boycotting Bud Light, completely avoiding buying Bud Light is insane. And I wish we would carry this momentum from this Bud Light boycott over into other things, more specifically stuff like Hollywood or any of the content out there, any of the media out there. Just boycott all of the BS that these companies, that these corporations, that these Hollywood studios are putting out there. Why don't we carry over this momentum from the Bud Light boycott that is the most successful boycott of all time, like a ton of people have said, and use it to change everything? Instead of just beer brands, instead of just Bud Light and Anheuser Busch, let's use it to change everything. Like, now that we see that this is possible, that we can do this, that we can cause a 23% drop in the Bud Light sales and really put a dent in Anheuser Busch, why not do this for Disney? Why not do this for other major Hollywood studios and things like that? I definitely think it's possible. Let me know in the comments if you think it's possible. Maybe we'll need a major thing to happen in order for everybody to come together and actually do that. Because, you know, this, like I said, was the perfect storm. But who knows? I think that we could do it. For some reason, we haven't done it yet. But maybe everybody's seeing how successful this Bud Light boycott has been. Maybe we could actually use it to carry over that momentum to stuff like Hollywood, or maybe even just other corporations. It doesn't have to be Hollywood. I just think that Hollywood would be a great place to start. Let me know what you're thinking, though, about this new Bud Light news, about this map. That's insane. Once again, shout out to Philip for tagging me in this. But the fact that it's literally across the entire country that Bud Light sales are way down, and it has no correlation between the Democratic and the Republican states. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments about this entire Bud Light situation.